Hey guys. Okay, so today I am going to talk about the new Fenty Beauty Foundation. I have zero makeup on right now, which is frightening. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this foundation because I'm super excited about it. This is Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. I love this foundation. It's a medium to full coverage foundation. It's very long wear and you feel like you have nothing on, which is fabulous. I'm not even using a concealer. I'm using it as my eyeshadow base. I'm pretty much using it for everything. It says to shake well. The first few times I used it, I didn't shake well. I didn't shake it at all. And honestly, it was totally fine. I'm gonna do a couple pumps of it. The shade I'm wearing is 150. The best thing about this line is the inclusive shades. They've done 40 different foundation shades. It goes on and it looks really light, but here's the big thing about this foundation that everybody's discussing is how it oxidizes. They're like, oh, it oxidizes, it's bad, how much it oxidizes. And I have to be honest, me personally, I don't know. And I bought this foundation online with my money from Sephora, picked this shade based on the descriptions, which is not always the smartest thing to do. If you're concerned about how much this oxidizes, go in the store, have them match you, put it on, walk around with it for a day. So if you can see, like, this side looks really light, but because it does oxidize, I don't know, I think it looks fine on me. So I don't care that it's a little bit lighter at first. And I don't care that it oxidizes because the things that I care about, this foundation surpasses when it comes to other foundations. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, which is a big bonus to me. And it stays put all day, which is another big bonus to me. I've said this before that if I'm gonna take the time to do my makeup, I really wanna make sure that it stays well. Now, I don't wet my beauty blender, because, which this is from Real Techniques. I don't wet my beauty blender because honestly, I don't want it to mess with my SPF that I wear underneath. Skincare for me is super, super, super important. So I really wanna make sure that my sunscreen and everything stays put. And I recognize that I'm also putting this foundation on quite heavily, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to put it on with the technique that I'm using, and you don't have to pile it on the way I pile on my foundation. Nobody has to do what I do. And this is not actually, shit. Okay. I will edit that out. Now what? There we go. This is where I'll just speed through this. So nobody has to wear the foundation as heavy as I do. I just like to have full coverage because I have a lot of sun damage that I personally am self-conscious about and I like to cover up. But if you are not self-conscious, you don't care about those things, you don't have to. Okay, so you see how kind of white and scary it looks right now. I promise you that doesn't take long at all for it to darken up a little bit, and it doesn't look scary at all then. If you're worried about that and you don't care, you just want this foundation and you don't care that it oxidizes. If you're like me, basically, if you're like me, you want this foundation, you don't care, bring it down a little further on your neck. Personally, I do that anyways a lot of the time because I have a lot of sun damage on my neck that I don't care for. I also wear a scarf. I also hit the ears a little bit. Okay. Well, it looks crazy because my lips are covered, but it's flawless looking and it will stay this way all day. So for me, it's a total win. So I'm a huge fan of this foundation. I completely understand why other people wouldn't be though, based on the oxidation. But if the oxidation is the only thing that's stopping you, I just say don't let it stop you, but whatever. The next product that I got is the Universal Invisimatte Blot Powder from Fenty. I'm sorry, I'm not somebody that really gets into the packaging. I don't really care about packaging the way other people do. I never have. But I do like how easy this is to open up. So I like the functionality part of it. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of it. So I'm not really using it as a blot powder as I am just a little bit as a setting powder. I don't wear powder every day. In the winter time, I definitely don't. In the summertime, I do more. But I'm just gonna go kind of down the areas where for me, kind of straight for the middle for me. So I'm a little more about strategically placing my powder. I've worn this foundation and powder now since, I don't know, last Thursday, Friday, however many days that's been. Let me think. Today's Tuesday. So 4 or 5 days now. And I'm just a huge win. I even had a photo shoot where I was in the photo and I wore this foundation, and that is not like me also to ever do photo shoots. I'm no model by any means, but a friend asked me and I said, okay. So anyways, I love this foundation. It stays so beautifully, and I know I look like a ghost at the moment. I have nothing else on except I barely have my brows filled in. They're still healing from getting microbladed, so I barely have them filled in, barely, and I kind of love how dark they are. But the rest of me, I recognize, looks insane. It'll look a lot better when I do the rest of my makeup. But I just wanted to do this quick video and show you guys how excited I am, how much I love this Fenty Beauty foundation. I think it's stunning. I've swatched something here, that's why my arm looks crazy, and I'm gonna stop talking now. But you guys, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share this video, because if anybody is curious about this foundation, give it a shot, test it out. Before, I was wearing the double wear water fresh makeup broad spectrum SPF 30, which I also love, and the shade that I wore in this is 1 and 2 Ecru. I do love this foundation. It doesn't oxidize, it matches really well, but the problem that I had is I was a grease ball by the end of the day, so this was just a little too hydrating for me personally. And foundation is a very individual thing, so you have to find what works for you. But for me, I think this foundation is a total win. I love that there's so many colors. I love that it feels like I have nothing on my skin and yet everything's covered up so well. So for me personally, I'm a huge, huge fan. I would totally buy this again. And that's my 2 cents. So take care, everyone. Bye.